Hi there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, October 28th. Welcome to my live today. If you're there, please let me know. And if you're watching the replay, please let me know. I am here today. I've got a card project that I want to show you. I'm going to make it start to finish. It's a Christmas card or maybe a winter card, but using non-traditional colors. So I'm excited to show you that. And I want to first start by doing a draw. What I do is every week when I make a card, I then draw for it the following week. And the way you get in on my draw is to comment, like, or share this post, and then you'll be automatically entered into the draw. You do have to be Canadian and not a demonstrator or a twin. So I've got that set up here on another page. So let me just jump over to that page here. Let me just share it, and we will see. Oops, I'm not looking at the right thing. Hold on a second. Here we go. Share the screen. Share screen. Okay, here we go. So let's see. Who we got here? Annie. Annie is the winner. And I just realized that I don't have the card showing, so I'll do that. And I apologize, my dog just started to bark. Oh, you can see the card. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, so let's see here. Annie. Annie's the winner. Okay, so this was the card. Let me just pop over to this screen for a second. This was a card that I made last week, remember, with that beautiful paper. And I just wanted to show you that I did make another one using the little other additional piece that we had. And I made one in another color. This was all after the live. And then, of course, here's another version here for a get well card. I apologize. My dog just started to go crazy. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to go back to me for a second. Just read your comments. Nicole says, hello. She's my sound check. I love that, Nicole. Hello to Mama Cat. Yes, Mama is there. Whoops, go this way. There she is. And my barking dog. Yes, it's like as soon as the live went on, it's probably a delivery because that's usually what gets them. Or our dogs next door will start barking and then he'll do. So, hi, Beth is there too. Hello, hello. Okay, so let me put over to my hands. And let me just start right away here. I'm just going to move these guys out of the way. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to work with here first. It's in the mini catalog, or at least part of it is. And let's just see here. So this page here in the mini catalog is page 67, and it's called Celebrate with Tags. So there's a bunch of different things. There's a happy birthday, Christmas, the Valentine's if you like, a mitten, a balloon. So there's lots of good variety in here, and a to and a from, which I always love if you're making your own tags. And it's got some fun dies. So let me show you the dies here, because I have this set, obviously. That's what we're working with. And so here it is. And oops, there's another set to the dies. Okay, so here's one page of the dies. Let me just close up the stamp set here. So you can see here there's a little mitten and a heart that's stitched, actually two hearts that are stitched, a balloon, there's some candles. So you can see there's no candles in the stamp set, but there's candles in the die, a snowflake, and then two different banners. And then this tag, which cuts out, does a hole, and then allows you to have it closed so you can put the recipient's name inside, which is kind of cool. But there's more. But wait, there's more. So this is the second page here. Oh, I can just do it like this. So it's a bigger tag, again, that will fold in. There's little fold lines. There's another die, a die that will do dots, and a circle die. So the circle could be used to do the hearts, or you could put a greeting in there, whatever you want. So there's lots of variety in this. So although it's in the winter Christmassy catalog, that's called Celebrate with Tags, it really is a great stamp set for all year round. So let me just put this aside, except for I need the mitten die. So I'm going to just put this over here for a second. Okay, let me move that out of the way. I'm also going to use part of this stamp set here, which is also in the mini catalog. It's actually just the dies that I want. It's called Joyful Flurry, and it is just the snowflakes that I use for a die. So I'll show you that. Actually, here they are right here. Already die cut. And pretty paper, which I'm going to show you as well. So I'm going to put these aside so I don't lose them. I thought I'd show you all the stuff first so I don't forget to do that, because sometimes I do. Okay, so there are 2 pages marked here. So this is page 139 in the main catalog. And what it is a package of gold and rose paper. So it looks like this. So it's metallic. I've just separated the 2 sheets here so I've got 2 packages here because I love it so much. Let me show you what they look like. So it's like a shimmer, and it's got like lines going through it almost. So it's not the same as a regular gold. It's not circular. It's like stripe almost. And it's very shimmery. It's very smooth. So it's just super pretty. So that's in the annual catalog. So that is what I use to cut the little snowflakes and something else, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Which I'll keep this over here to show you. And one other thing is this Texture Chic Designer Series paper on page 134. If you ask me what my favorite paper is in the whole annual catalog, it probably, first of all, is the ones I showed you last week with this pretty prints. But in terms of versatility, I would say it's this one here, this Texture Chic. Now, I've shown this in a previous live, so I'm not going to show it here today. It doesn't show that great in the catalog, but there are so many designs. Okay, I'm lying. I'm going to show it now. I'm going to try and find a package. Here we go. I've got so much of it. Like there's, it's just because I love it so much. And it's got, I'm not going to show all of it, but I'm just going to give you an idea. So it's got this gold fleck in it. And then some of the designs are fall. Some of them are Christmas. And then on the reverse side, they have all these designs with like either gold fleck or just, so that one's gold or just matte. Like every single piece of that paper is beautiful. And I'm going to use it all. I love it, love it, love it. So I'm using that today too. Okay. One other show and tell. I've also shown this on a live before. It is the Snowflake Vellum. It is in that mini catalog. And I've almost used all of my paper now, but I showed this one before with the iridescent look, this flocked paper. So these are like raised little snowballs. Same with the snowflakes. There's another dotted one, and I think that's all I got left because it's almost all gone. It is so pretty. Oh, here's another one. Same one. Anyway, so you guys get the idea. Okay, so I think that's all the show and tell. So let me see what you guys are saying. Deb said hi to Jasper. Thanks, Deb. Okay, so I've got a piece of 8.5 by 11. Not 8.5 by 11. This is not 8.5 by 11. You guys know that. This is 11 by 4.25. So, and I'm going to fold it at 5.5. This is just the same size card as I normally do. It is just what I call the hot dog version. So long and skinny, but when it's closed, it's the same size. It's just opens a different way, which is kind of nice. So here's some of that beautiful paper that I'm going to use. It's actually got seashells on the back, but I don't care because I'm going to make it Christmassy. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is emboss. And oh, I guess I have one more thing I wanted to show you. Very Best Occasions, which is also in the mini catalog. It's got some lovely sayings here. Again, not necessarily just Christmas. It's a happy birthday, thinking of you, love you, comfort and love, you're the best. There's a Christmas one here, another Christmas one. So I'm going to use this. And what I did with this card is I want to stamp the saying right down here. So when I mounted my stamp, so you can see this one here, hopefully, you can see it's crooked. So I thought, okay, well, this is a chance for me to use the Stamparatus to fix that crookedness. So what I did was, this is the Stamparatus. This is a tool that is in the annual catalog. And I use this a lot, actually, for positioning. So what I did was I laid my card in here. So I'll just find a blank one. And you lay your things here, and then you take your greeting and put it on here and then pick it up with the plate. And then I could see that it wasn't straight still, so I flipped this little card over, and you can see here that you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tries until you get it straight. So I now have it in the straight position. So now I'm going to stamp with it because I've got it straight. Because the stamp, I must have mounted it slightly crooked. It happens sometimes. And but I can make this better by just doing this. And what's nice is even, it's going to be straight, but in addition, if I was stamping multiples of this, it would be in the perfect position for every single one. So I'd stamp, let's say I'm doing 15 of these cards. I would stamp all 15 like this before I took that back off. So I'm going to just ink this up with Versamark like this. Oh, no, before I do that, I'm going to take my little Embossings Additions toolkit, which is also in the mini Embossing Buddy first. I think I inked it already, but just in case. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp that. It should be perfect. And then I'm going to take this out of here, move that out of the side, grab my little kit again. I'm not going to need the tweezers, although I might just use them to get out that little dimensional back right there. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to take my gold embossing powder and I'm going to sprinkle. I'm going to check your comments there in just a second. Oh, there's an extra little something something in there. What is that? Possibly a piece of a nail. Okay, and then give it a little tap. If you've got any extra powder anywhere, which hopefully you shouldn't because of that Embossing Buddy, you can just use your brush here to brush that away. And I'm going to turn on the heat gun. This is my favorite part of stamping. If this is you joining me for the very first time ever, heat embossing is just the bomb. So I've got a heat tool here. It's nice and hot. There are 2 settings on the Stampin' Up! Heat tool. You're going to want to use 2, which is the highest setting. And oops, I realize I'm covering that up as I'm talking. 1 I would use if I was embossing on vellum, for example. So I'm going to turn this on. This is going to turn from that dark powder to a shiny gold. Probably can't hear me if I talk, so that's why I'm not talking. Usually I give the gun a few minutes to heat up, and I didn't do that, and so you can see I'm getting a little curling on my paper. Just warping the paper a little bit, which is fine. It'll go back. So now you can start to see it's starting to turn there. A lot of people will do this. You don't need to do that. Just move across the image. And once you see that it's all turned that shiny gold, you want to stop. You don't want to keep going, otherwise you'll burn that, and then you'll burn your paper. So I got a little warpage there because I heated the gun, didn't preheat the gun. And when you don't preheat the gun, you get a little bit of curls, but that's okay. By the time I put everything on it, it'll be good. Now, what's nice about this toolkit is that I can take this little tray, unscrew this. And again, this is in the mini catalog. And if you don't have a catalog, please let me know. And I can, oops, I got a piece of tape in there. Just tap it all right back in here. And you just reuse that powder. And that little jar of powder will last you a very long time. So that is a great thing. And I hope that we get to keep that. I hope it doesn't disappear. But if you want to be sure and get it now, just in case. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my pattern paper. And I'm going to get some tape out here. And I'm going to put tape along the back here. I said I'd look at your comments, but I haven't done that. So let me do that, because if you've got questions, I hate to miss them. Now this is, the color in this paper is petal pink as well as gold. And so this is petal pink ribbon that I'm using. And let me just trim that off. I'll stick it on here. And then I'm going to have a quick look at your comments to make sure I'm not missing anything. So this is going to go like this. So as you can see, pink and gold is my theme here. Chris says she loves the paper too. Yeah. I'm not sure which one you mean, but they're all beautiful. But the vellum or the texture chic, which one did you mean? So I've also cut out a petal pink circle, a stitched circle. I realize as I look over, I realize I'm a little off showing every time. I'm sorry. My camera's obviously just positioned a little bit differently. So this is from this set of dies here. This is the Stylish Shapes, also in the annual catalog. So that's going to go here. And then I took my mitten die and I cut out 2 mittens, 1 and 2. So you can cut 2 at the same time, which I did. And then I cut out of that, here's that paper, that pretty flocked paper. You don't get the advantage of touching it here, but it's flocked, it's pretty, it's fuzzy. So you may notice here that my mittens are going the same way because there's only one die. So how do you fix that? Well, this is really easy with the white paper because I can just flip it over. There we go. Now I got a mitten going 2 different ways. In fact, I'm going to put them like this. And with the vellum, what I did was I just put, do I have them here? I took one of the flock side and then I turned the other one over and I ran them together like that. So when I've got them now, I've got one with the flock side there. I am saying flocked, by the way. There and then there. And basically I have it going both ways. How do you like that? Okay, so I'm going to attach this. Now I could just leave this blank, but it will pick up the color from underneath here. And I really want them to look like white fancy mittens. So I'm going to, is that a thing, fancy mittens? I think so. I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to just put a little dab of glue in behind some of these dots. You might not be able to see on the camera, but I can see them right through the vellum so that it doesn't really show, right? It'll be hidden behind those dots. I'm not a big liquid glue fan, but this works for this, okay? So, because I tend to get messy. But I'm not going to today, I promise. I'm promising myself. Okay, so this is going to go on here like this. So aren't they cute little fancy mittens? Okay, so we're going to do a couple more things to them. So I have that pretty paper that I showed you, the gold paper. And what I did was I cut out 2 cuffs and I cut them so that the stripes are going this way. So they look like little cuffs. And all I did for that, there's not a die for that. I just cut that much of the paper. That was it. With that die. Okay, so I'm going to add those in the same way. Oops. The nice thing with liquid glue is if you, this is just off a little bit, it takes a second to dry, so you can just move it over and get it right into place. I see this one's moved a little bit too. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. A little bit of glue here for the cuffs. Okay. One. Slide it into place there. Now this one I can see looks just a little bit crooked. Maybe it's just my eyes. No, I think it's okay. And I'm going to lay that on there. Look at these fancy mittens with the gold cuffs. Woohoo! Fancy. I'm going to let that dry for a second. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Okay, we're good. I've got all the comments. Okay, so while that's drying, actually I'm going to go ahead and add my snowflakes too. So these are the little snowflakes that I cut out. So they're very fancy mittens. So I'm going to just add a little bit of dab of this liquid glue here. Now another way I could have done this was cut this out with an adhesive sheet. That is one of my favorite ways to put in little tiny things. But I decided, seeing as I had the liquid glue out already, that I would just work with it. Okay, so pretty. Okay, and I'm going to put a little dab here. So while I'm putting this together, tell me what you're up to this weekend. Anything exciting? I have one of my brothers who lives out of town. Actually, I'm going to use this to grab this. Coming in with his family this weekend. So we'll get a chance to see them for a little bit, which is nice. Lay down, you. This is where I get messy, when I start to touch it too much. Okay, there we go. Woohoo, I managed to not get glue on my fingers yet. I'm going to move you over and just hold that down for a second. Okay. All right. You guys dry. I'm going to add this here. Do you like my colors? I love these colors. I always think a pink Christmas card is so pretty. So there we are so far with the gold embossing, little gold flecks here. And then we're going to bring through some more gold with our fancy mittens. So I've got here the Simply Elegant trim. It doesn't come in a jar like this. I just put it in a jar. It comes with the silver and the gold. And now they're hiding on me. So I'm going to pull out the gold, of course. And I am going to flip these over. I'm just going to see your comments here. I love the mittens, Dana says. I keep forgetting about the adhesive sheets. I know, they are really useful. Nicole says, I think I will work with the new Christmas paper pumpkin, which is super pretty. I don't know where mine is or I'd show it, but hopefully you guys know, those of you who are getting it. Okay, I'm going to grab some dimensionals and I'm going to just attach that down like that. Now I want just a little bit of a twist here. Move this over a bit with the ribbon. So I'm going to just twist this ribbon, and I want just a little bit, so maybe about there. So I'm going to cut this. Okay. I want you to twist, twist. Okay, and I'm going to put it on this side. Hold that down, and then I'll put a couple more dimensionals here on each of the mittens. Hopefully that one's not too close to the edge. Okay. All right. So before I take those off, I'm just going to kind of figure out how I want this to go. Exactly like that. Okay. So let's keep that idea in here. Peel this off. Okay. We'll put one kind of low and then another one up a little bit higher. Oh, I love the golden pink together. And petal pink is nice because it's not a really pink pink. It's more of a blush pink. So it's almost neutrally, if that's a word, neutrally. And then I'll just make this one go up a little bit, and then the little twist can go wherever it likes. How adorable is that? May you enjoy the warmth, Mittens, of family this season. That's why I picked that saying. So how pretty is that? And with the little flecked dots on here, and then the dots on here, I thought it kind of all went together really well. Nancy says she loves the colors on this card. Yeah, gold and pink are just super pretty for Christmas, and something just a little bit different. And Beth says she's updating my Christmas card mailing. Good for you, Beth. And Nicole said she did that too. Yes, it's the start, right, of figuring out how many Christmas cards you need to have. Okay, so let me pop back here to me. And Deb says she loves this card. Oh, thanks, Deb. So don't forget to comment, like, and share. And then I'll put this, I'll draw for this next week. Oh my gosh, I forgot something. I'm looking at my sample. Let me go back here for a second. Okay, so we always have to add more bling, right? I had actually left it at that, and then I, at the last minute, added some more bling. That's why I forgot. So I'm using my very favorite gems. If I had to pick one set of gems that I love, it's these ones. Elegant Faceted Gems. There's the white. There's this kind of, it's almost a beigey pink, and then a clear. And there's two different sizes, and they're faceted is what they're called. So there's like all these little dimensions to them. Very pretty. Okay, let me grab my Take a Pic tool. And I'm going to add, I could add any of these colors and they would work, but I'm going to add the ones that are kind of pinkish, just to tie that whole pink theme through. It's funny because if you put these with crumb cake, they look like crumb cake. If you put them with pink, they look like pink. So there we go. Bling. Da-da-da. Okay, so let me jump back here. And Chris says, love the colors, also lovely card. Thanks so much. And Beth says, you inspire us. Oh, that's so sweet. Now I'm going to tell you something actually, Chris, about your comment. I do a sketch program. Nancy says she loves the colors. Thanks so much. And this is actually, those of you who are in the sketch program might recognize this as one of my early sketches. It's actually a sketch that I use a lot. With this sort of layout. So yeah, and I originally, let me just pop back to this again. Or we can have both of me in here. Let's see here. There we go. Although I'm going to roll over here, so that's not going to work. I originally had put this centered, which is actually how my sketch is centered, and the saying centered, but I kind of liked it off to the side and then have a little bit of that ribbon holding down there like that. So adorable card. Love the mittens and the colors. Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's one of the sets that I bought first when the catalog came out, but I wasn't really sure what to do with it because there's so many different things you can do with that stamp set. But if you're in my 12 weeks of Christmas, which all you have to do is to be on my mailing list, and I'll put a link in the comments here, you'll be seeing some tags and things coming up in the each of the weeks that come out. So okay, Nicole says adorable card. Thank you so much, Nicole. So that's all I have for you today. So just remember to comment, like, and share, and then I'll be back again next week, which will be November, if you can believe it. And I'll do the draw for that, and I'll have something new and fun to show you. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me today, or joining me if you're watching this on replay. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.